Howdy, folks. Hey, friends and neighbors. How you doing today? Well, hope you guys are staying tuned for that head-to-head rematch for the 10 mil auto government model 45s. This is just a quick update on some things that occurred in the first video, some malfunctions, some issues we had, and some things that I really wanted to draw to your attention about 10 millimeter auto ammo. All right. One of the first things I want to talk about, if you'll remember in the video, after we were through firing and it was more or less final thoughts after action, I picked up that box of Federal 180 grain FMJs, small primers, and was looking at it and realized, I looked at the back, muzzle velocity listed on the box. Well, hopefully that's in focus, but it may not be if you're on a small unit. 1,030 feet per second. Really? That's not 10 mil ammo. That's barely 40 short and weak. Reloading books, you can load 40 short and weak faster than that. 1050, 1100 with the right bullet and powder. I really was kind of pissed about that. I burned all that ammo. I took all that time. And damn, I had a comedy of errors. I'm really pissed about that. But shit, nowadays, what can you do? Now, this brings up another point on 10 millimeter ammo. I can't talk. I need more coffee. If you are a hand loader, well, yeah, you can alleviate that issue if you've got enough books. There is something that occurs now and then, and those of you that have enough books and have been in it long enough have probably experienced this phenomenon. Some books only have data that goes to a certain level, and some books have data that goes to even less, and some exceed the hell out of it. And you're thinking, what in the hell is going on? Because they're all using the same powders. And sometimes this occurs even across multiple books by the same company. So if you are a hand loader, especially if you load cartridges like 10 mil auto, there's a caveat, a absolute almost rule of thumb. Have more than one book. Okay? Because you can find some really mind-bending shit if you look hard enough. But at the same time, it gives you the ability to start making more educated decisions about what loads you're going to try and what might be too hot and might not be hot at all. Case in point. Hornady, 11th edition. Latest and greatest. And I've been loading out of this fairly recently. And in the 10 mil auto section, and we're just going to look at 180 grain. 180 grain XTPs or FMJs. There are 3 powders that you can use by this data with the 180 to exceed 1,150 feet per second, but only up to 1,250 feet per second. Well, now, the original 10 loading was a 200 grain bullet at 1,250. That's what they were looking for, 12 or 1225. And the only powder that'll take you to 1,250 is blue dot. Everything else is going to fall short by 50 feet per second, including accurate arms number 9 or 7. But you can use them both to achieve 1,200. Now, this is their newest book. Stay open. Number 7. Been loading out of this one for quite a while. Now you'll notice on this one, with the 180 grain, they still list that you can get to 1250 with 3 different powders: Power Pistol, Blue Dot, and Accurate Arms number 9. And what was the maximum charge in the previous book for Accurate Arms number 9 with this powder is falling between the second and third columns starting from the left. That's in the low section. And it says that with 14.9 grams you can achieve 1250. Just 1250? Really? Wow. And it says in the 155 grain section, though, just like that book, doesn't say you can achieve with a 155. You go over here and you can use Accurate Arms number 7 or Blue Dot to achieve 1,450 feet per second. Okay. Now I can drag out Hornady number 4 and it'll fall in the middle. And it's the earliest book from Hornady I got. What the is going on? That's what you want to ask yourself anyway. What the hell is going on with you people? Well, I'll explain it short and simple. Different eras, different times, different powders, different tests, different implements, different instrumentation, different chronographs, different settings. Especially that different times, different eras thing. Maybe when they put in those low listed loads, they were wanting to be careful because people were blowing their damn Colt Delta Elites up. Who knew? So anyway, if I can pass along any good information about reloading and hand loading for 10 mil auto, have more than one book, baby. Have more than 3 or 4. Have 9 or 10. Because I haven't even drug out the Nosler or the Spear or the Sierra yet. And their data's different too. So you got to pay attention to that shit. All right, enough about that. What we really came here for. Update. Now, in that head-to-head match, that first range session, shooting a Kimber against a Ronin. And I went and reviewed the footage. And the Kimber was keeping a tighter group when they weren't moving off to the sides. I attribute that to 2 things. Half me, half ammo. But there were several shots in a row where it was just dumping them in there within a ½ inch of one another. Some of them going through the same hole in the middle. It was tearing a nice little raggedy group. The Ronin was getting close, but it wasn't quite as close. That might have been attributed to the fact that the gun was new. It just wasn't broke in yet. It had a lot of, if you'll notice, when I would rack the slide, when I would move it, I don't know if you could hear it on the microphone, but I could certainly hear it and feel it. That weapon's rough. It was rough inside. It had a lot of stuff that was grinding against surfaces. And I shit you not, you could hear it and you could feel it when you would bring the slide fully back. That recoil spring, which was too long, not by much, but it was too long, was actually fully compressing on itself and then trying to get over on the coils. And there was some crunching going on in there. And you could see on the end of the spring cap that locks into place under the bushing, the end of that has some impact on it. It's because that spring was completely compressed within it and the slide was still moving back, and it was pounding the face of that cap against the lip of the bushing where it locks in. Come on, Springfield. I put Springfield on the boycott list for 2 years after the hijinks that they were pulling with the SA-35s and announcing the Ronin's coming out, and a few gun guys got them, and then they just dried up and you couldn't find a 10 mil. I was on 6 different waiting lists for over a year, and I finally just told him, I said, take me off. I'll play with something else. I don't like Springfield. I've been shooting Springfields for 30 years. Damn. So when I had the opportunity to get my hands on one, I was like, okay, I'll take you off the list. Here's what I want to talk about. Now, I've got 4 government models sitting in front of me right now in 3 different calibers. 2 of them are Kimbers. One is a Rock Island Arms GI-45, and the other is the Ronin. Now, obviously, a brand new gun, when you're racking the slide, yeah, you can tell it's not worn in yet. I took this weapon home, and I went through it. And let me tell you something, what I found pissed me smooth off. And I'm going to post some pictures showing you some things, but they definitely lend credence to the issues I was experiencing. But right now, what I want to do is let you hear something. Now, you'll notice my camera's set in a place it's never been before. I'm in my gun and loading game room, but I have the camera set up in the back of a 3-sided cubby where my reloading setup is. That's loaded light with a lot of flat, hard panels, and you get really good sound in here. So I want you to pay attention, listen closely to the differences in these pistols, all right? So the first thing I'm gonna bring up, all these weapons are clear, slides are locked back, no magazines with any ammo anywhere near them. So don't freak out, YouTube. Rock Island Arms, basic GI model. Clean sounding, and it's a clean looking gun because I haven't shot this weapon very much at all. It shoots fine. I shot a couple boxes through it, and then I've just kind of left it hanging in my military holster with my gear because I like the way it fits in there. But I want you to hear something, okay? Okay, you get the clacks and the clicks, but you don't have a lot of trash in the middle going shh, 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 shh. This is a brand new gun. All right. Kimber, stainless custom 2, 38 Super. I don't know how many trophies I've drug home with this damn thing, but it's a lot. And this is single stack, and I have taken trophies away from guys running 19-round mag Glocks and Berettas and other things. It's a shooter. I want you to hear it. Snap. Nothing but snap. Click, clack. Click, clack. Hardly anything in the middle. No trashy sounds. Weapon number 3. Kimber Custom 2, 10 mil auto. Professional. Click, clack, click, clack. Yeah, baby. Springfield Ronin. Listen. No. Now, I have spent hours and hours cleaning crud out of the rails and the slide raceways, polishing a whole bunch of gnarled up, burnt up bullshit. And I wish I had taken pictures then, but I got so into cleaning. Let me tell you, I am going to post some pictures of the remedial action I took to polish things up. But now I want you to listen to this. Now, the polishing and the surfacing that I did to get rid of all those trashy surfaces, by all lights, should basically mimic firing several, if not 800 or 900 rounds through this weapon, because I have taken surfaces to mirror in many places. But I want you to listen to this. Shit. can't hardly get away from it. But it is much smoother than it was. But you hear that underlying tone. Drive me crazy. I mean, drive you out of your tree. Now let me show you a couple things. First off, I've never seen somebody do this on a new Springfield until I bought this. Okay. This shiny spot right here. Right there at the back. All right. See if I can get it close enough. Get the light right. And maybe you can see it. Get my hand next to it so I can get, look at that ugly ass hand. See that? Right there. No other spot on the tops of these flats was taking any wear. But that spot was. And every time the slide would get almost fully retracted, you could feel it. Just zzz, zzz. So yeah, I polished that down. And of course, I polished the sides of the rails. I polished the inlets where the barrel moves on its toggle. On the ejector plate, see how it's worn on the ends, but not in the middle? Why did you want to give me a plate that was dished? I don't like dish plates. But it's better now. That's basically everything that I had to do up here. Well, with the exception of cleaning out the raceways between the top of the rail and the lower and upper portion of the frame. Because you just take a sharp-ended probe, put it up there in the wall, and just skitter down the damn thing. Jesus, that pissed me off. I can't believe these people did this. Oh my God. Now, get the light to reflect properly, which I may or may not be able to do. Right there might work. Hopefully it'll get in focus. Now that's pretty shiny up there now. There's not a whole lot of scratching or marring on it. And there's a reason for that, because I had to polish the shit out of it. Because the lugs in here, the nice shiny lugs now, had ratty ass edges. And they were literally sanding that son of a bitch off. What? Now, I know I've gone on pretty long about it, so I'm not going to take up all your time. But you'll also notice the flats right here. May or may not be able to see it. But do you see the difference in the machining marks at the back up here by the tops of my fingers as opposed to the machining marks down here? Fucking honestly. Oh my God. But anyway, I got those surfaced and doing a lot better. So hopefully, when we get set up for the rematch, this thing ought to run better. But I'm not going to depend just upon my prowess at slicking up a firearm to do that. We're not going back with small primered 40 short and weak 10 mil auto variant. No, we're not going there. Some of my loads. These are just 180 grain FMJs. And with these, I'm just using 8 grains of the unique. They're getting 1150 to 1175. Got some factory Winchester, 180 grain, listed advertised $12.50. Maybe they do it, maybe they don't. I also have some of my handy dandy loads that I love to use when I'm out and about hog hunting. This is using Accurate Arms number 7, 12 grains. These puppies run 13.25. We've also got my defensive loads. These are Hornady 155 grain XTPs, and they are using 800X at 10.5 for 1300 feet per second. And in this box, on this little row right here, I have some test rounds. 155 grain, 14.8 of Accurate Arms number 9. Yeah, baby. Book data lists them at 1430. They should achieve 1430, maybe 1450. Them ought to be some hot ass rounds. So, yep. Hopefully, the use of these projectiles and loads that come a whole hell of a lot closer to standardized 10 mil auto than that shit from Federal does should make one hell of a difference, not only in accuracy, in performance, but in function reliability. We're going to find out. So, thanks for bearing with me. I know it was long, probably a good 20 minutes, but I just wanted to drop this to you, give you this knowledge, give you this information. So we have weather moving in. So when I get the chance to go shoot at the range, it's going to be a couple days from now. We got weather moving in, lots of cold rain, and my buddy's out hunting about 425 yards from where my range is. So I can't disturb, I don't want to disturb him. But it's coming, and we got another special unit after that, so stay tuned. Thank you folks again for dropping by. I hope you learned a little something. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully be seeing you real quick somewhere downrange. Duck! Bye.